Hey team, good morning and blessings. Coach G here. So fired up, excited to be with you this morning on a beautiful Wednesday morning. So a couple things today. One, we'll talk about the greenhouse effect. It's a really, really powerful principle that I learned so many years back, and it's just produced some great fruit in my life, and just a fantastic truth. I think it's going to really bless your life. So let me ask you a question. So, have you ever been in a position where you've worked and worked and worked and worked, and you've tried hard to do something great, and or anything for that matter, and just not, it doesn't seem to be coming right? It doesn't seem to be producing. It doesn't seem to be giving you the fruit that you want, whether it be a business or a job or a sport or whatnot. There are some principles wrapped around your ability to succeed that is just no respecter of persons. Okay, so success, one, is no respecter of persons. It doesn't have any sympathy for you. Doesn't care what your background is. It doesn't care race, creed, color, religion, none of that stuff. Success looks for principles. Success is based on principles in anything, whether it be sports, business, academics, job, whatever it be, career path, family, whatever you're trying to do. It's based on principles, and the principles are the same across the board enacted. It's just different techniques based on what endeavor you're in. So what I want to tell you today is that if you are a person that is working really hard, like I said, and not really producing or seeing fruit in these areas, and you think you're doing everything right, you may be doing everything right, but there's a certain greenhouse effect that you need to produce in order to actually cultivate fruit and success in these areas. Okay, what do I mean by greenhouse effect? I'm glad you asked. Right, so if you want to grow a tropical fruit here in the desert in Arizona where I'm at, and it's not the climate for it, doesn't normally grow here. It's not indigenous to our area. What do you have to do? Well, you have to build a greenhouse. You have to build a shelter for it, and then cultivate the environment inside that greenhouse to produce that fruit. It's got to have the right humidity. It's got to have the right amount of sunlight. It's got to have the right amount of moisture. It's got to have the right soil, maybe from the indigenous area that it comes from. It's got to have the right things for it to grow that fruit. If not, that fruit's not going to grow here, right? So if you want something to grow that's not indigenous to your area or what you're used to, you've got to build a greenhouse. What does that mean for you in your life translated? Metaphorically, it's obviously metaphoric, but that translated into your life is you have to build the environment in your life, surrounding you and in you, to cultivate the fruit that you want. So let me ask you another question. Have you clearly defined what fruit do you want? Is it crystal clear to you? If so, is it written down somewhere? Have you taken a notepad, and a piece of paper and written down exactly your goals, what it looks like when you're there? Here's my guidance to you, and my recommendation is start there. Clearly take a piece of paper and a notepad or a journal or whatever, and write down what it's going to look like when it's complete, whatever you're trying to do. What's the business going to look like in crystal clear detail? What's your finances going to look like? What's your parenting going to look like? What's your career going to look like? When you're at the point where you feel like you've arrived, right? What does it look like? How does your life feel? What does it feel like? What does it look like? What will you be driving? What house will you be living in? What will you be doing with your finances? What kind of charities will you give to? How will you spend your day, start to finish? Sometimes if we want freedom in our life, we want to retire young, the fact of the matter is we wouldn't know what to do with our day. We think we do, and we do everything we want to do in that first day, but then what about the next day? You can only watch so much TV. You can only garden so much. You can only shop so much. You can only travel so much. What are you going to do from the time you wake up, in my case 5 o'clock, to the time you go to bed, 10 o'clock, whatever that is? What is every hour going to look like on your freedom days, on the days that you have no more job, or you're wealthy, or your business is booming? What's that going to look like for you? What's your leadership around you gonna look like? What kind of mentors are you gonna have? What kind of study regimen are you gonna have? What kind of diet are you gonna have and exercise? What's that body gonna look like when you're done? I know exactly for me as I'm on my health journey right now. So some of you guys know you're tracking with me for my 5 o'clock club, and stuff like that. I know exactly crystal clear what it's going to look like. I know that my goal weight is 200 pounds, rock solid. I know that. I know that my life is going to look amazing where I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to feel great. And I'm going to do different things. And I've actually went to the point as far as to go and buy a couple sets of clothes that are going to fit me when I'm in that goal weight. That's how committed I am to my goal. And that's what I see myself. So I can see them hanging up like on a mannequin in my closet. I hung them up just like you would see anything else. Those outfits to know what I'm going to look like when I'm in that perfect, in my mind, health, right? My business, I know exactly what I'm going to do with my day when I can be full-time and retired young, who I'm going to give to, what kind of charities I'm going to support, what my day's going to look like. I've written those things down. My encouragement is write those things down crystal clear. Not in your head, oh, Gil, I have them up here. Well, guess what? Until you come out of here and onto that paper, it's still a figment of your imagination. You have not made it real until it translates onto something real. You want to bring it to reality. You want to give it life. You want to put it down on some paper, right? I love referencing the Bible. Whether you're a believer or not, it's probably one of the best success books I've written. There's so many principles in there that are actually the books that are written now, even if they're non-religious, non-spiritual, they are derived from principles that you can find in there if you trace back far enough, right? But in Habakkuk 2:2, he says, write your vision plain upon tablets, right? Write down your vision on certain things. Write it down. Make it crystal clear what you want. Give it life. Because only then you can then backwards plan. See, successful leaders backwards plan. Everybody backwards plans actually. If you want to get up in the morning at 6, you don't get up at 5:55 in the morning and set your alarm for 6. You set it the night before for 6 o'clock. You backwards plan. I'm getting up at 6. I'm a backwards plan. I got to set my alarm tonight for tomorrow, right? So you've already done that in certain parts of your life, right? What does that mean for your success overall, your goal? Okay. Now here's the secret sauce. Okay. You're going to write those down so you have a target, right? The GPS doesn't move without a destination and a current location. Once those two coordinates go in there, you can map a route and take it and then create detours along the way if you need to. But you need the destination point. You need to be real where you're at. Okay. So write down what that is. Then you're going to backwards plan. And what does that mean? I'm going to figure out what it's going to take for me to actually get there. What it's going to take for me to do in my daily routine. But even before that, who do I need to become in order to cultivate that? Because the greenhouse atmosphere starts with you. It starts with you cultivating a being, a thought process, a mindset, a heart set, having all the pillars in your life, your mind, body, and spirit directed in one spot. Your mouth is speaking where you're going, not where you've been. What you want, not what you don't want. Your forgiveness is on a different level for people. Your patience and compassion is on a different level. Your grind's on a different level. You're subduing and putting at bay your procrastination and things in your life. Your people who are billionaires don't become a billionaire when they have $1 billion. They become a billionaire when they have $0 in their heart and in their mind and their activities, and they start to chase their purpose, and then the money starts to chase them, and one day that billionaire will have $1 billion. Does that make sense? The billionaire will have $1 billion eventually, because when you chase your purpose, money chases you. When you chase finances and money, it will always evade you. You won't catch it. So I need to become who I need to become for that greenhouse effect on what I need to produce. Because when I have become what I need to become, I will attract that by default, and what was hard will now become easy. Doors that I couldn't kick open before of opportunity will now swing open with ease. Who you become is more important than what you do. First, but simultaneously. Who you become, what your study. How do I become, Gil? Great. 1, get a coach or a mentor. Right? 2, develop that plan to get where you need to go. Figure out what study habit is intentional. Don't just randomly go looking at thousands of different YouTube videos. I'm blessed if you're watching this one. Amen. Hopefully give you some guidance. But there's 1,000 fake coaches and mentors out there who are standing in front of rented Ferraris and houses they ain't theirs telling you that some nonsense. No. Get somebody that you can really trust in to develop, to keep you accountable and walk you through the not so glamorous stuff, the hard stuff, because it's going to get hard. Change is the hardest thing that you ever will have to do. But here's what's crazy. If you want to change your life, you have to change your life. Amen? Awesome. So get with that mentor, get a game plan, get a coach, get a game plan, and then figure out intentionally what you need to study, what you personally need to change. Here's the secret sauce. You need to look at that mentor and say, coach, mentor, hey, what do you see that I don't see? And do not have a death grip. Here's the key. Do not have a death grip on needing your feelings validated by others, because that will rob you of the ability to elevate your life and succeed. Don't have a death grip of what you think you are and this is who I am. No. It may be who you are. That's why you have or don't have what you want. But is what you want so powerful? Do you want it so bad? Do you need it so bad that you're willing to change, give up, postpone, or do whatever it takes as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical? Amen? Now, here's what's crazy. I heard this recently from one of my coaches. Do you want your feelings validated, or do you want elevation in your life? You can't have both. Sometimes we're so busy about how we feel, we're so caught up in our feelings, in our feels, that we can't grasp or grow at all, because we're so worried about how this person made us feel, how that person made us feel, what she said to us, what he did to us. Man, screw all that. Success has no sympathy, no empathy, zero. Can you put on your big boy and big girl pants and walk in strength and say, I can't do nothing about my past that already happened. Let me change the way I think about it so I learn from it. I can't do nothing about what hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. But I can be strong today. I can get coaching today. I can work a plan today. I can develop myself today. I can create that greenhouse effect in my life by changing me first, my environment second, and then things will start to come to me. Now, if you do this, you will learn how to move into your next season while sitting in your current season's uniform, right? You're going to be in your office coat, your lab coat, your maintenance uniform, wherever you're at now. You're going to be in that same uniform. You don't have to quit anything, and you're going to move as you grow internally. You're going to move into your next season in that same outfit, and then you'll shed the outfit. Right? Are you passionate about this? The Greek root word of passion means suffer. Are you willing to suffer to create that outcome? Amen. I really hope that's helping you, right? Now let's talk about atmosphere just a little bit. Okay? Atmosphere is so important because it's part of the greenhouse effect. You got to create the sun and the atmosphere. You change things like changing the soil, planting the seeds, water, whatever, but the temperature, the sun, the rays, the humidity, the condition of the air. That's the atmosphere. What's that in your life? That's going to be your intakes. What you listen to, what you read, who you spend and what you watch, who you spend your spare time with, and how you talk. Because all these things create things in the unseen before they're in the seen. Here's where I find people have the hardest part, because they don't want to change in their heart truly, so they start to justify why things don't matter. Gil, it doesn't really matter what movies and music that I watch. That's just entertainment. Okay, great. If you knew all that you think you know, that you thought you knew, why are you still stuck where you're at? What I did in my life is really important. I got so humble that I realized I didn't know anything. And I said, if I knew what I thought I knew, why am I still busted? Why am I still here? Why am I still missing the mark? So I went to my mentor and coach and said, whatever you're saying to do, I'll do. Even if I disagree, I'm not really qualified to decide whether or not that's the right thing to do or not, because I knew already I would already be doing it, already be successful. I just have to know if it's legal, moral, and ethical. If it doesn't break any one of those three things for me, I'll do it, as crazy as it may sound, because they know something I don't know. I put away movies and music that were killing my brain, negative situations, stressful things that were, because those things alter your heart, they alter your thought process, they alter your moods, they alter your perception of people and life and society. I wanted a clean slate, man, because where I was going was more important to me than where I was at right now and what I had my hands on. I cleaned house on my music. I cleaned house on my playlist. I cleaned house on my movies. I cleaned house on everything. Even my office at home, areas in my home, anything that was in there that was just clutter, I took the clutter out. I got rid of, I put things on the wall that are important to me. I'm in my work office now, and I'm just starting to build that. As you can see behind me, I got a couple of books up, and some Napoleon Hill, some John C. Maxwell stuff, a couple of quotes, from different things. I'm starting to build this environment. I'm spending a little bit more time here recently. But put things up around you that you can look at and see on the wall. In the wall in my office at home, I have something that says dream. Big, right there. And my wife puts quotes all through the house, real pretty things. We got to do more of that. I told her the other day, we don't have enough of this here. Right? I have music. In me, what works for me is my spiritual music, is my praise music. So I actually have that playing all day long, every day. I let it go on my laptop or my computer in my office at home, and it plays through the house all day while nobody's there. Trust me, it doesn't use that much electricity as you think it does. Stop making excuses to stay where you are. Release the death grip of everything that you think you are or that you like, and be willing to change and evolve into the person that can attract where you're going, that will be ready for where you're going. Create that greenhouse. Be willing to cut some people out of your life. Spend less time with them. Talk to them less if they're negative, if they're challenging you. And start celebrating time with people who celebrate you, who appreciate you, who encourage you, who are pushing you forward to where you're going, not making you question yourself. Coaching and mentoring is one thing, but a person who doesn't believe that you can get where you want to go, that's toxic, man. Now, with good mentorship and coaching, you'll know how to manage those relationships. Some people you can't just leave, but you can work around that. You got to know how close to let certain people and how not to properly, so you don't ruin relationships. That's important. Amen. All right. I know this was a long one today, man, but I really hope that this blessed you. That atmosphere, that greenhouse effect is so important to where you're going. And if you're stuck right now, I'm working on memoirs, and probably it'll become a book about how to be unstuck, and maybe all these principles in one book that I've been going over with you guys. But if you're stuck, man, and you're just tired, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're just tired of being stuck there, I promise you this is one of the keys that's going to open up doors for you. And like always, if you need me, hit me up on Facebook and inbox me or something like that, and we'll talk. And I'm starting to do a little bit of life coaching outside of here, one-on-one with folks. It's another entity I'll be launching soon. But and if you get value from these videos, like them, share them with somebody, and then actually the next 5 or 10 minutes before you go about your day, take 2 or 3 people that you think need this, that may be stuck or frustrated, and share it with them. And hopefully it adds some value with them also. Okay, all right. I love you. I believe in you. You're perfectly, wonderfully, and intentionally made, and you're loved. You are loved. Amen. And so next time I see you, remember to live and love at a higher level, unapologetically. And in my case, I do it for Christ. And don't let nobody steal your dream. Amen. All right. I love you guys. Coach G is out, baby.